Let's talk about this entire Twins series against the White Sox, starting with Chris Paddock's masterful performance on Monday. 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. A guy who's been struggling coming into this series. Very representative of the Twins as a team. So I think this start set the tone for them in this series.
9 earned and 13 hits against a hungry lineup in Baltimore wasn't very fun. To be able to bounce back and look myself in the mirror knowing, nothing's wrong. I don't need to change who I am or what I did. And tonight, kind of speaks for itself.
Again, I think the entire team can kind of take that away from this series the way it went. Moving on over to Tuesday, Trevor Larnach with a massive home run, down 5-2 in the 8th inning with 2 outs. A huge unsung hero of this game, Trevor Larnach, and really of this team of late, this entire lineup. He's been really getting it done. Byron Buxton hits the massive game-tying home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. That thing got out of there in a hurry. Obviously, this guy is just so key to this team right now with so many other big stars injured. He's got to step up and do stuff like this on a regular basis. That was great to see. And then with the game on the line, I'm not sure there's anybody you feel better about being up there right now than Alex Kirilloff. Works a nice long plate appearance with 2 outs. Doesn't try to do too much. Shoots it through the infield. Twins win on a walk-off. So they win another game. They get to celebrate. They get to feel good. Just great vibes going already, winning the first 2 games of this series.
If you want to be successful, you got to find ways to win games that are really not going your way and they're stressing you in a tough fashion. Not a lot went right for a while in the game. It was tough sledding, but find a way. You just keep working. You just keep working. It doesn't really matter what happened before. It matters what we're about to do, and we're capable of scoring runs at any point and holding the other team down at any point. It was a good game.
After that, it was Willie Wednesday. Willie Castro's 27th birthday on Wednesday, and he had a big game. Hit a home run, hit a double. He's been really struggling. Drove in 3 runs. So it was great to see, again, just great to see this team smiling, having fun, being able to celebrate good outcomes happening, and to see Willie Castro be a part of that, of course, warmed my heart. Big Willie fan. And then moving into this afternoon, Edouard Julien hit 2 home runs in a 5-home run game for the Twins. Man, he is so good at hitting that ball up high. That high fastball is such a in vogue pitch right now, and he is so good at shooting that the other way. He had 2 home runs in this one. Simeon Woods Richardson, though, was kind of the guy I was most curious to see how he would do, because this is really his first true audition to be a true rotation piece, and not just a guy who kind of comes up in emergencies with Louis Varland being sent down. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 94 pitches. Let's hear a little bit from him after the game.
All I could do is try to get easy outs and try to get them back in the dugout as quick as possible. We knew it was going to be a close game until we had 2 back-to-backs. So getting them back in the dugout just gets momentum, trying to create them going again. Just trying to attack the strike zone. We're still trying to get better. We're still trying to learn. We're still trying to ask questions from all these guys and try to be a better pitcher.
Man, he and Austin Martin really seem to get what they're supposed to be doing and saying all the right things. And yes, it's just the White Sox, but the Twins swept the White Sox at home. This really kind of gives them an opportunity to reset their season. And even though it's the White Sox, they got to Pablo Lopez. So it's not like this is a team that's just completely hopeless. I mean, they're terrible, but that give them some credit. This is still a big league team putting 100% of their effort in. The lineup, 6 runs in all 4 games. They'd only done that twice in the previous 20 games coming into this one. So again, a huge momentum building opportunity here. Great to see from the Twins. We'll see what they do next. Jhoan Duran making the first appearance of his rehab assignment with the Saints. Great to see him back out of the mound. But this was a bit of a rough go. They give this a double. That should have been out really any level. That's Tony Kemp at second base, a big leaguer, but rough there. Duran threw 27 pitches. He did strike out the side, but it was not in order. Here's our old buddy Travis Blankenhorn sending one to the moon. Deshaun Kersey's got to run about a mile for it. This is a single. Duran didn't pitch great, but he didn't get a whole lot of help from his defense. Minor league defenses, not as good as major league defenses, but did get some swings and misses. Again, threw 27 pitches. 14 of them curveballs, so didn't appear to have a really good feel for his four-seam fastball or his splitter. It's really going to the curveball, but still Just great to see him back working, getting a data point here on where he's at and in terms of what he's got to work on. Velo was a bit down. Wednesday, Jair Camargo hit a big home run for the Saints. He's back over there, and we got to see the prop. They had the great hot dog hat prop last year. Looks like they're going with a wrestling mask this year. We'll see what kind of other creative stuff they do with that. But here today, Thursday, Yunior Severino hits an opposite field homer just above that yellow line. And I was curious, is that going to be a Camargo thing or is that everybody? And it is everybody. Severino gets the wrestling mask. So that is the homer prop this year for the Saints. Another look at that swing. This guy's got power everywhere. Off to a really slow start. It's disappointing because the Twins could have used a big power bat. Another rehabber, Justin Topa, threw today for the Saints. Looked good, but again, minor league defense is not as good as major league defenses. There's an error to start out his outing. He settled back in. Really nasty two-seamer, sinker, good slider there, and then ends it with a changeup. He strikes out the side. Beautiful pitch there. So Justin Topa working his way back. His velo also a little bit down, but remember, again, these guys are kind of working their way back first rehab assignments. Saints won big on Tuesday, and they won 3-0 today. Here are their starting pitchers. David Festa, once again looked good, was nasty, but a short outing, 3 1/3 innings. Caleb Bosley, this guy's turning in some good, his overall numbers aren't great, but he's turning in some great starts for the Saints so far. And then moving on over to the notable hitting performances. Again, that huge 15-run outburst on Tuesday, there was a lot going on in that one that we showed the Duran highlights from. But that is your first half of the week for the Saints here. Moving on over to the win surge. I got to be honest. This is the week to me about the win surge. I can barely think about this team right now because I'm just sick to my stomach about Emmanuel Rodriguez being hurt. He had to leave the game on Wednesday with an apparent right hand injury. Of course, he's left-handed. We don't know the severity of that. Of course, they're going to be extremely careful with him being one of their top prospects after such a great start. An 1193 OPS. He had a great game Tuesday. He was off to having a good game on Wednesday. So this was heartbreaking to see him have to leave. Thankfully, the win surge did win today, 9-2, because it's been a rough go. It has been a rough go for them. They are 5-13 on the season. Is Wichita tough? Here's the starting pitching rundown. They got some good starting pitching performances this week. Pearson Ole picked up a win today. Didn't pitch great, but he's hopefully turning the corner here. Hasn't looked as good as he did last year for them. Again, Emmanuel Rodriguez had another nice game on Tuesday. Tanner Schobel's starting to turn around. They have a lot of guys that are struggling, kind of in their first or after limited experience in Double-A. But there are some bats turning it around. Moving on over to Cedar Rapids. Andrew Morris had another great start for Cedar Rapids on Tuesday. 6 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts, a 2.75 ERA on the year now for Morris. Here's a nice double play. DeAndrade to Keishel over to Cespedes. Morris also has almost 11 Ks per 9. 95 up in the zone. That's a stadium gun. I don't have Baseball Savant, but that works because of that big loopy curveball he has. Those tunnel well. Morris, very sharp. Again, 2.75 ERA on the season. Showing some fire there at the end of his outing. As a minor leaguer, 6th inning, you're probably not going back out there, but I thought him and Olivar kind of seemed to have a vibe going on too, so that's great to see out of him. Cespedes, speaking of Rubel Cespedes, guy I slept on for sure. Showed up quite often last year. Homered there on Tuesday. Moving on over to today, they had a doubleheader. Zebby Matthews pitched the first game, and he's just been a machine. My goodness. 5 2/3 innings. He struck out 7 and did not walk a batter, so he now has 19 strikeouts and 0 walks in 5 2/3 innings for Zebby Matthews. That is with a 2.30 ERA and a 0.89 whip. And there you see him fielding his position there. What a nice turn by Keishel. Beautiful. Gabriel Gonzales has had a nice week so far. A 3-hit game on Wednesday, and then earlier today, his first home run in the Minnesota Twins organization. Launching that one. That was a bomb. He's got the juke over there. Strong young guy, showing some power. Look at him get down on this one. Just golf it out of there. A little concerned about his defense, but nothing to be concerned about with the bat there. He's starting to turn it on. So Colonels, again, they played a doubleheader today, making up an earlier game. They've won 3 of 4 games so far this week. Again, Andrew Morris and Zebby Matthews pitched great. I want to call it John Klein. Minnesotan John Klein also had a great start, sandwiched in between those two on Wednesday. Moving on over to the notable hitting performances. This team's getting some good run out of Rubel Cespedes early. He has an 11.08 OPS to start the year. Trying to make sure to shine a spotlight on him. A guy I didn't even have in my top 50 prospects entering this season. I think we're going to have to change that. Moving on over to the Mighty Muscles. Jumping straight to the bottom of the 9th inning on Tuesday. A 0-0 game. Bottom of the 9th inning. Brandon Winokur leads things off with a base hit. He eventually steals second base after there's one out. They were giving him a lot of attention over there. They'd thrown over, really paying him a lot of attention. He still manages to swipe second eventually. And then Pancho Ruiz, down to the last strike, fighting for his life, gets way up. This is a high pitch that he gets up on and shoots it through the middle. Beautiful bat flip to celebrate. Again, Pancho Ruiz, their catcher, coming up big with that one. And great to see these guys celebrate. They got to work on the Gatorade bucket. They totally missed Pancho Ruiz on that. That's what the minor leagues are for, okay? You got to work on baseball. You got to work on your Gatorade. They got him eventually. That's all that matters. So that was super fun. Jumping ahead to today's game, Thursday, and Jose Rodriguez got up with the bases juiced in the first inning, goes deep in these miracle throwback jerseys for a grand slam in the first inning. You know, big, physically intimidating guy with lots of power, Jose Rodriguez. Good to see. And then, I mean, stuff like this. I'm just soaking this up. Being able to see stuff like this right here, just to have these games broadcasted and just to get a look at these guys, and just loving this. They're doing a great job, too. Every time I tune in, they're getting better and better on the broadcast. Rayne Doncon also had a very impressive home run for the Muscles today. He's off to a tremendous start, his second home run, but he's been great. And look at that, they've got some StatCast data. 104.4 was the exit velo on that one. So they're doing a great job. Though, unfortunately, the walk-off win was the only win so far this week for the Mighty Muscles. Again, a first-inning grand slam, and they still lost today. That's a crushing. Some really good starting pitching performances. Ross Dunn is off to a really nice start. You see 5 shutout innings and 8 strikeouts in that game where they got a shutout. But Jeremy Lee and Cesar Laris also pitched pretty well. And then moving on over to the hitting performances, you see there a couple of these games high scoring, a couple of them offense, tough to come by. But yeah, Jose Rodriguez, not off to the best start, but we're looking for him to really provide a lot of offense. Thanks for checking this out. I know it's a little bit different. You know, we've been doing things the same a lot. We're going to go back next week to the same old nightly recaps, but, just kind of the way things worked out this week. We're going to try this. So, obviously Monday through Thursday here. Sneaking in some Monday games, which we don't usually talk about the Twins if they play on Monday since there's not minor league games. So it's kind of an added bonus. And then, of course, I'm going to do Friday through Sunday's games on Sunday. So, again, no nightly recap on Friday or Saturday. We're going to talk about the entire weekend's worth of games on Sunday. So thank you for watching this. I really appreciate you tuning in for this long. So we'll talk again on Sunday.